Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome in today for episode 102 of the Pod Wants podcast. I am your host, Char J, joined by my co-host, Luke.
How's it going, everybody?
And Hereth Productions.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hope everyone's having a fantastic Thursday night. Today, we're going to be covering Season 3, episodes 21 and 22, the finale of Season 3, titled 0 Hour. We're going to be diving into Thrawn, Constantine, Price, Callus, all of these different things culminating together, a huge war. It's all chaos, but there's gonna be 2 episodes covered in one. We got 2 guests on today, actually 3 guests on. We got 2.5, I'd say. But Luke, Hereth.
Well,
one of our guests will be on for a little bit. So,
that's what you're saying. You're gonna get us canceled with that comment. You're getting us canceled.
You took it way out of proportion.
Oh, trust me, this person is going to take that as a slight, and that's not cool. So thanks.
Oh no, I'm sure she'll be fine
It's a
with it.
trivia. We're going to use this as fuel.
Okay.
Oh, by the way. Okay. Everybody, if you haven't watched the second match with the trivia tournament, go watch it. JJ versus Nick. It's actually really entertaining. Sunday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. It'll be which
Tate
one
versus
is it?
David.
Yeah, Tate versus David, Star Wars Facts Guy, and Xanatos 1138. So go check that out.
Without further ado, Luke, Hereth, ready to bring in our guests?
Yep.
Let's do it.
The Jedi Knights are all but destroyed, and yet your task is not complete, Inquisitor. The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
We are back. All right, so our first guest, as I mentioned, Luke took it out of context when I mean a half person.
I'm not the only one that's gonna think that, though.
So at one point in time, she was our 4th member of the Pod Wants podcast. She technically still is, but yeah. But you know why she's here? She's a Callus fan. She's here to talk about. She was supposed to be here for a prior episode about Callus, but now she'll get her redemption in this episode. Let's bring in Alanis at Not a Kyber.
It's okay, Char. I might be half of a guest, but you are half of a host. So
Shots fired.
Fucked.
Amazing.
Love you.
I
love you too, Al.
Oh my god, that I just viscerally threw up just there.
Luke.
Anyway, hi everyone. I'm currently in an airport. I'm not having a great time, but it's okay.
She's been there 7 hours.
I've been in this specific airport for 7 hours. I've been up since 6 a.m. in airports. So,
Alanis, the fact that you're on here today just shows the dedication you have. I'm just saying.
Callus,
you're in the middle of an airport. You could have just mind your own business, but you're here to talk about the season finale episode of season 3, and I'm glad you're here. But Alanis, we all know where we can find you, but we need to let the people know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Not a Kyber on everything. You can also follow me at Discovering the Galaxy if you want to see some stuff that I'm doing with my Star Wars class for next year. And you can also listen to me at Sith Face Podcast whenever we decide to be a podcast again.
Yes. Well, Alanis, thank you for coming on. And we'll bring in our second guest to the Pod Wants podcast today. He is a returner. He first appeared on Ghosts of Geonosis a few episodes prior, and he's coming to talk about 0 Hour. Let's bring in SWE Austin.
Hello.
You just did his name backwards. Idiot.
I mean, it goes both ways, to be honest, because a lot of
interchangeable.
Exactly, because for some reason there is another Austin SWE on Instagram.
Oh, dude, nah! You gotta challenge him now. You gotta challenge him to the fight of the death. He has to meet. You have to make a location. You have to drop a pin and say, "Motherfucker."
And what is this, like a dark saber? Like the winner
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Proclaimed the name.
Listen, I'm ready. This person has like 2 followers and it's a private account. So listen, I'm ready.
Report it.
Anytime they're ready, I'm ready. But no, thank you for having me on. And 2, I just want to say that you guys are doing a great thing with the trivia. I watched both of them and all the advertisements, and I was like, this is exciting. I love the editing, and I love the trash talk. You know,
Good
destroyed
job,
like Game of Thrones season 8. Horrible. So
that was
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Hereth is doing a fantastic job. So guys, if you haven't seen the trivia tournament, definitely go check it out. But Austin, where can the good people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram, SW Austin, on Twitter, SW Austin0, and on YouTube, Austin SWE. You can also listen to my podcast. This is The Way Seekers, which is returning July 7th.
Awesome. All right.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming on. And our third and final guest, she is making her debut to the Pod Ones podcast today. Of course, it is one of the major Thrawn episodes. Knowing her history, let's bring in the commander of the Chimera, MJ Vanto.
Hi guys, I'm MJ.
Nice
At
to
Chimera
meet
Chat.
you. Thanks for coming on. This isn't your first podcast, right?
No, I actually
Okay,
used to have
good.
my own.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Typical
Nice.
Star Wars fan. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's a rite of passage. I'll be starting a new one soon.
Ooh.
A little teaser.
Intrigue. But no, MJ, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We've got like 50% of Chis Twitter right now. Like, like you know, like between
But mighty.
Yeah. Oh man, that just takes me back to London in that one subway ride. It was so much fun.
I thought you were not going to.
I will never
I
know.
was expecting you to say healthy. I was like,
I wasn't there. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we'll talk about that offline, but it's really funny. But MJ, where else can we find you on the social medias?
I am Chimera_chat on basically everything, and I'm actually the backwards Austin Instagram handle. So.
Oh! All right, here we go.
We found
The
the
drama.
truth.
Wow,
No need to mass report that account. If you're watching this right now, go report that account.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one on Twitter, it says suspended account. So I'm like, so why can't I just have the username? But whatever.
Yeah, man.
Someone's out to get you.
I'm gonna change my username to that before you guys
do it. Do it.
Yes.
Hi,
Take that, Austin.
Exactly.
That is awesome. But let's get into this episode. 30 seconds for 2 episodes. Don't have a timer because it's not gonna be 30 seconds, but I'm gonna try my best. So basically Thrawn figures out where they are. He finds out, he kind of like is like, hey, Callus, I know you're fucking Fulcrum. And God damn it, now I'm all flustered.
Hereth, this is not a guess that Star Wars character. Get out of here.
Yeah, no. He kicks the shit out of Callus. Gets taken to the Chimera. They find Attalon. They go to Attalon. Okay, I'm sure I'm missing something. Do you want to go ahead and say something? Because you could go right ahead, miss. You could just. Do you want to just do the analysis the entire time? You could do it right here. I'm giving you the point.
There's the airport announcement.
What if the airport announcements have the synopsis? Hello, the Battle of Attalon is going to be departuring.
Oh my god! All right. Anyway, so basically, Thrawn finds the Rebels crew. The Rebels crew is like, "Oh fuck." We get to meet General Dordana, who makes his first appearance in the show, but it's not the first time we've seen him. He was in A New Hope. Hope that's not one of your 3 interesting facts, Char. That would be way too easy.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, Thrawn fucks up shit. We get to see Bendu turn into like a cloud and do some other shit.
Yeah,
they all survive. Spoiler alert. You know
what?
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, but what were your guys' overall thought? Like what in this episode? What's the moment that really shines for you guys individually?
I can take a guess.
Callus looking like a submissive.
I literally texted her that she was like, I'm so excited to come on and talk about this. I go, just because you can talk about how fucking useless, not useless, but how like.
No, but I want to bring up the point that I said to you. So everyone looks at Callus in that, we all know the one we're talking about, the one beautiful strand of hair, the, black eye. We all know the picture, right? A lot of people, I think, show that as like a decrepit, sad, poor Callus, oh, upsetting. To me, that version of Callus is his most powerful, because he literally at that point had gone up against a Grand Admiral and just right hooked him. He was just out there curb stomping Thrawn. And
I don't know.
MJ, say your piece.
I don't know.
Stand for Thrawn.
Wait, that's the real question. Who actually won the fight? That's a good
Thrawn.
question.
Oh no,
Thrawn won the fight.
Your
Thrawn whooped his
training
ass.
at the academy is limited, predictable, is word for word what he says, but
Yeah, no, Thrawn definitely won that fight. But I think you also have to think about the inner strength of Callus to even throw the hook in the first place.
mhm.
Because he goes, from what we know of being, a perfect Imperial from day one, to that final it's now or never. So I really think that is Callus's most powerful, maybe not physically, but mentally. I think that's his peak.
He was risking it all in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
But Alanis, if you were in Thrawn's position, what would you do?
Oh, shut
Oh
up!
my
Can we not go there?
I had
Please,
to ask
for
the
love of
question,
God.
Egan.
No, you did not. You
Mr.
did not.
Eggs.
You did not have to. You did not have to do that.
Yes, I did.
We already know the answer. Moving on.
Also, she's in
Hey,
public.
Hey,
Char.
stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah. She's in
What is it?
bonk, all of you. Anyway,
You're not
Austin,
gonna doge me, buddy.
what's your favorite part of this two-parter?
My favorite part is always the beginning, because I just remember watching this when it came out, and the moment where the mouse droid goes into the crate, I just remember thinking there's no fucking way, there's no way this is gonna work. And so then when Thrawn shows up, when Callus is going to send a message back to Hera, then Thrawn pops up at the door. Amazing moment. I mean, I'm sure it was obvious, but I just, I was younger, so I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I just predicted this, so. So when I rewatched it this time around for the podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, I just remember thinking that I was such a genius for calling that out. And then now looking back, it was so obvious, but.
But I think that's kind of the beauty of Star Wars, is that rewatchability and the little bits and pieces of things that you find, and then as new stories come out, it's the best. I mean, I know I wasn't on for Through Imperial Eyes, but one of my
Tragedy.
I know Hereth mentioned it. I know, but the little thing with the stick fighting and and the whole instance with Thras, and if you kind of look at that and kind of see what he did with the theatrics of beating up the droids, when Callus came in, I think that's this era of Star Wars. I think that's the beauty of it, because it's more expansion rather than creation necessarily, and I love it.
Yes.
MJ?
Okay, is this my favorite part from the first part or from both? Overall?
For the whole thing.
All together. It's all in one.
Ooh, I don't know. I really like when he tries to kill God.
Shoot the sky.
Yeah, that is a pretty
moment.
good one.
I mean, I don't think I can watch that episode without getting chills when Bendu says the line about, I see your defeat surrounding you like many arms in a cold embrace. That just, oh my gosh, crazy. Space whales.
Gotcha.
MJ,
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say Thrawn's little helmet.
Yeah, I mean, honorable mention to the bucket, because that's just the silliest, goofiest. I mean, it's cool when the Mud Troopers wear it, but when Thrawn has his own special version of it, I'm like, to match his outfit, I'm like, this is not the serve you think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a serve. I think it is. But...
Thrawn's just classically nervous.
Okay, wait,
That.
okay. So for the boomer in the room, what the hell does serve mean? Like, does that like what in the world's going on here?
Like,
What are you talking about?
A serve is like if your outfit slays or not.
Wait, you've never
well,
heard that before?
Luke's
Like
kind
when
of
you're
uncultured. We know
serving
this.
looks.
We know this.
All the guests you've
There-
had on your
we-
podcast, no one said
No.
this character has served.
I know you're like a low-key boomer, but really? Serve? Really? That's like,
Yes.
that's like 2014.
I'm kind of honored
I didn't-
that I get to be the
I didn't-
introduction to that on the podcast, though.
And
The fact that it's Thrawn in the bucket being your introduction to this slang.
Mhm.
I mean, begs the question: what other moments are serve SERV serve like volleyball serve, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Mhm.
there's okay, I get it. Serve.
I know there's
serve,
any
okay.
other type of serve, but okay.
Okay, shut up. Would you? What other moment is serve would fit the definition of serve?
In the finale, when Callus wears the all black outfit.
I was just gonna say that. I was literally just gonna say that.
Hive mind. Hive mind.
Hive mind. Yeah, that is elite. And honestly, to this day, I firmly believe that they're like, we don't want to give another outfit. We're just gonna put him in this black morph suit. But man, I'm so glad they did. It's just like when they put the Bad Batch in their yeah, you know, it was a design choice, and it's a design choice that I love.
Yeah. Austin?
I just had one. Oh, like to go in line with like the black suits, like Luke in Return of the Jedi, like very much
Yeah.
a serve, especially when the gray piece comes down. But Emily also brought one up in the chat, like Gorn, very similar to Thrawn, has the same helmet. It's
Yeah.
a serve, I think.
I'm gonna be basic, and I'm gonna say Vader getting into his suit in Obi-Wan Episode 3. That serves.
Honestly, also anything Mon Mothma wears. Or
Oh,
does.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Answer.
holy
That's
shit!
not you.
Wait,
Invented serving.
wait. Mon Mothma in the which episode was she looking like a damn snack in?
All
Oh, she was.
All
Oh, she was like. I think it was the one with the connectors. That outfit, she looked absolutely phenomenal in. That is a serve moment. I agree. Anything that she
Yeah,
does, is
Mon
just a serve
Mothma.
moment.
Serve.
Serve. Char.
Yeah, my favorite moment's got to be when they destroyed the interjector. That was so relief.
Yes,
It was so relieving to me when the interjector gets destroyed, because you got Ezra and the Mandalorians on top of the ship. They're over here causing all this chaos, and then they're finally able to get out of there and jump, and then Sato's sacrifice. The whole space battle was just incredible. And Thrawn is over here. He's got everything prepared. And then you have like these ambitious goons that are like, I'm tired of listening to you, Thrawn. And then just like aborts mission. And then everything just gets ruined. Just like how, because when Thrawn gets out of the picture, literally the Empire loses, because these admirals are so greedy and they're so oblivious to their surroundings. They always lose. But this is one of the examples why the Empire loses, because they don't listen.
No, yeah.
But yeah, the space battle was just incredible.
No doubt. I think the best part of this episode, low key, not even low key, high key, is Bendu. I think he is one of the most interesting parts about specifically this season and how much we learn from him throughout the season. But I got a question about him later. So I just seeing him be like, because we didn't really see him do much. I mean, like force wise, he like picked up the 2 holocrons and did like the spinning thing, you know. But like, really, that's not much doing stuff. But yeah, I think Bendu was pretty awesome for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you guys already kind of talked about it with the whole Admiral Constantine moving out of formation thing. Like, what was your guys' like first reaction to seeing Thrawn almost beat the rebels at Adelon?
I mean, okay, I hate saying plot armor because I hate that because it makes me sound incel-y. But I think when I saw that, my first reaction was like, oh, that makes sense because this is how Rebels fits within the larger storyline. You know what I mean? Like when instances like that happen where like, the quote unquote bad guy, doesn't make it because of plot armor or someone survives because of plot armor, I don't necessarily like care. Because it's like I just kind of like to see how the story fits in. So I don't think I wasn't like surprised. I wasn't angry. I was just like, oh, this is how, the rebels win, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing how much the Bendu was like, because Luke said the Bendu was the best part of this episode. And then MJ, you mentioned the scene where Bendu like foresees the defeat of Thrawn with many arms surrounding you in a cold embrace.
That was cool as shit.
And that just had me thinking like
that served. That served.
That did serve.
It was one of the best foreshadowing. Like if you go back and if you've never seen Rebels and you go back and you see the ending before everything else, just to kind of prepare for Ahsoka as to how Thrawn and Ezra like disappeared, and then you go back and see this and how it was a total foreshadowing moment. I mean, I had my favorite foreshadowing moments, but what are some of yours? Because this one was cool, as it's with Ahsoka coming up. A lot of people are going to come back and rewatch that Thrawn and Ezra scene at the very end of the show.
Ooh, I'll let the cast of characters go. What are you laughing at?
Oh no,
Okay, so
I think she gasped. She gasped.
Yeah. Okay. So it's okay. As far as literary term, it's not technically foreshadowing, but I will say,
did you just actually?
No. Well, yeah, I actually myself as an English teacher. As an English
it's
teacher,
okay.
But,
I greenlight the actuallys from you.
No, yeah, you better.
It's probably a even tie between in Lesser Evil, the Outbound Flight.
Ooh.
That sent me into a 3 to 4 day coma when I first saw that. And the second will definitely be okay. Lesser Evil's been out for like a year now. I don't care about spoiling it. The ending that relates directly into the first chapter of Thrawn 2017. I think that is one of the most stunning things that Timmy Zahn has ever did. And I think if anyone wants to see Thrawn as a true character arc, it does nothing better than that. So those are my favorite.
The way that you just sent me back to flashbacks, because I'm like, I just remember my phone blowing up when I got to the Outbound Flight. It's like, are you at that chapter yet? Are you at it? I'm like, yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
V and I were literally like, when we got to that part, V was like honestly about to like drive to New Jersey because we were like so like foaming at the mouth over it.
Weren't you guys in like a Discord call reading the book together?
Yeah, so when any of the Thrawn like Ascendancy books came out, V and I would sit on Discord at midnight when they dropped on Apple Books, and we would listen to it until I had to go to work at 5 a.m. And we would do that for like 3 days in a row, and then read it on our own during the day.
Why would you do that?
Because we needed to know. We couldn't have it spoiled.
No, tease on. Please don't do another.
So, Alanis, what's the proper term that I should use instead of foreshadow?
Oh no, your question was right. My answer was wrong.
Oh,
my answer was not technically foreshadowing at all.
Okay,
but
like I just got really excited.
Yeah.
Full circle, not foreshadowing, but full circle.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to ask Austin, what's your favorite foreshadowing moment in Star Wars?
Honestly, oh, like just in all of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying just Rebels. I was like,
oh no,
like
all of
setting up Ahsoka. I was like, I thought you guys said all of them. Like, I thought you said okay. Foreshadowing in all of Star Wars. Oh Lord.
I got two really good ones that I don't think anybody is. I think a couple of people might know them.
Do you want to say yours and then I'll think of
Well,
mine?
if you want to think of yours, I can go.
Okay, yeah, because now that I know it's all of Star Wars.
All right. Obviously being the Anakin stan, Mortis, him seeing the visions and stuff and them forgetting, that's typical. But the second one is Cassian building parts for the Death Star.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Foreshadowing his own death is the most poetic thing I have ever seen in Star Wars. If I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Okay, so yes, agreed. Amazing.
Um,
My favorite, now that I think of it, is the binary sunset with Luke's journey kind of starting off with the sunset and then ending because the sun was rising in the end. So yeah, it was a very nice moment. I love The Last Jedi though, so
yeah,
biased. But
hey, that's called character development. Character
Andor
development.
reference from Luke. Yeah, it's once in a blue moon. He does not
No,
talk
but
about Andor.
no,
if it's
but
about Kenobi, eat that shit up. But Andor, no.
Okay. So now that you're gonna throw me under the fucking bus and have me get run over.
Hey, I was already thrown under the bus earlier.
I will say that Andor is the superior show.
Oh, by
10
far.
out of 10. It's the better show.
By far.
I just like Obi-Wan more. That's just
yeah, half the show, half the enough of the
Half the
half. I'm
host.
tired.
yeah. But anyway, MJ.
I mean, I love the Bendu moment, especially because it pairs nicely with a quote from Treason where Aralani talks about Thrawn's demise. I feel like the Bendu quote and her talking about one day you're going to overplan, overshoot your goals, and then everything's going to come crumbling down. I feel like those two go really nicely together. But I also, maybe it's just bias, my love for Eli Vanto. There's this line in Thrawn where he first meets Thrawn and he's terrified of the Chiss because he's heard all these stories and he's like, I would not want to fight a war against them. And it just perfectly foreshadows the fact that he fights for them on their side. Like it's a line about fighting against them. I wouldn't want to be against their side, and how he defects. His whole defection arc, like the foreshadowing there about how he doesn't fit in. Like I'm rereading that book right now and every line is like, these people don't like him. He doesn't agree with them. And I'm like, I wonder where this is headed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I feel like that one's not very that's a deep cut. That's for sure a deep cut. Hereth?
I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't go with the one I'm about to say because I'm actually going with the Anakin one.
Oh, I know which one you're doing.
Again, does this count? Does the deleted scene count as a foreshadowing?
Sure.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's the unfinished arc in
We'll
Clone
count
Wars with when Obi-Wan and Anakin are sitting around the campfire and they're talking about Ahsoka leaving the Order.
That is such a good one.
And Obi-Wan drops the line of it's like, I'll never be alone and you'll never have to be. And that whole line of foreshadowing their entire relationship is just poetry. And I'm mad that scene got cut and they didn't reuse it in another arc during season 7 because that scene is just
It is really fucking good. I thought you were gonna go. Oh wait, Char, we haven't heard yours. Sorry.
Oh yeah, mine.
Go ahead.
Mine's pretty funny. Mine's got to be the one in episode 2 when Obi-Wan and Anakin are walking into the Outlander Club, the club on the lower levels of Coruscant. When Obi-Wan's like, why do I feel like that you're going to be the death of me?
Yes.
I thought you were also
don't say those things, Master.
There's
the
also-
closest thing I have to a father.
Yes.
Why don't you listen to me?
Listen to me.
I am trying.
I also thought that you were gonna go with him cutting off Zam Wessel's hand because he ends up cutting off another smugglers in A New Hope.
No, that's just a
But
that's
that's
just
not foreshadowing.
that's just a theme
reference.
or just a trope with just
Okay, so
hands
then
getting cut off in
so
Star
then
Wars.
so question then: does the cutting of the mask in Kenobi foreshadow, or is that just going with the whole?
it's more of a
That's
parallel.
a symbol
Yeah, it's a
reference.
parallel.
Yeah, parallel.
No, because I mean, for mine, it depends on the order of how you watch the movies. If you're watching it
It is.
numerically, it would be funny. It would make sense because Anakin does kill Obi-Wan.
Kill Obi-Wan. Yeah.
But if you watch it from the original trilogy first, it kind of loses its value. But I mean, it's still funny. It's still why do I feel like you're going to be the death of me? And that whole sequence when they're flying and then they go into the Uskar district and then all this chaos is happening and then there's just so much chaos that happens between Obi-Wan and Anakin. But for him to say that, it's just funny to me. It's just funny. It's just like, oh, you're gonna be the death of me. He's not wrong.
No, yeah.
Another good one is actually in Revenge of the Sith, but his fate will be the same as ours.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that was a trivia question.
It was?
Yeah. I think it was said in one of the matches.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
pretty
it
sure
was.
it is.
I think it was not one of these matches.
Was
it
one of
last
the recent
season?
ones? No.
Oh, was it last season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember writing that question because it's a throwaway line kind of, but it's very, very important for foreshadowing for sure.
I don't think it's a throwaway line. I think it's really important just to show that like Anakin is his compassion is bigger than
with
saving the
everything
Chancellor.
with everything that goes on in that movie, like he just killed Dooku. Like I feel like not a lot of people like catch on to that saying right away. It's kind of like you would forget about it if you weren't really like paying attention.
It's the mindset of a true Jedi.
Yeah, kind of like that. But hold on, is it my turn? I think it is.
Hold on,
turn.
no, go ahead, Luke. What you waiting for?
So I'm gonna get to. So I mentioned Bendu earlier. Okay, so obviously Ahsoka's coming up.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know. Is it? I mean, there's only a select few people that actually got to see Fwan in real life.
Fwan.
Leave me alone. That was my weakest moment.
Sound like you said fauna.
Yeah, it was actually. Never mind.
Sleep.
No,
Wrong
it was hilarious. That panel was a fever dream, at least for Alanis. But I was like also kind of like crying the entire time because I was like, like she was crying for Thrawn. I was crying because the fact that Rosario Dawson answered a question like, oh yeah, she totally feels alone. And then I was like, but she's not alone. And then I just got to thinking about Hayden and I was like, God damn it. Fuck you. But anyway, do we think that there is any possible way that we could see a parallel to Bendu, whether it's a mention, a throwaway line? Do you think that they would ever bring that character into live action or into other like Star Wars media? Do you think this season was the last time we will ever see Bendu?
It's almost
I
like
wouldn't hate if
I
they returned.
think on screen, yes. In books, maybe video games, no. I think turning Bendu into live action, as much as I love him and I love what he represents, let's be honest, would look goofy. It would look goofy. Like they did a great job with Zeb, but I think Bendu in live action would look goofy. I hope we see him again, but maybe not live action.
I wouldn't mind him being like a voice though. Like maybe like if Jason Syndulla is like a big part of Ahsoka, maybe there could be like a moment there. But I do agree, like please don't try it. But you know what would be fun is like if they did it like stop motion or something like the Rancor, because you know the Mando crew is gonna do some crazy
That's
shit like
exactly
that.
what I was thinking. The only way it wouldn't look goofy is if it's practical. You know how I feel about practical effects.
Okay,
They could do
wait. This
something
is
like
a
the
side note. I'm
Rancor.
sorry. I'm taking over their podcast. What was your thoughts on the non-practical Kowakian monkey lizards? Because it actually made me so upset.
If I start talking about it, I'll cry. Like I was watching the gallery this week.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it came out what?
They were talking about how originally, because Jon Favreau had just come off of Jungle Book and Lion King, and they were talking about how Grogu was originally going to be CG, and I almost like physically had a reaction. I was like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, yeah, because they brought in what's his bucket from the original trilogy to do a lot of the practical effects for the season of Mandalorian. His name starts. It's Phil, isn't it? It's Phil, right?
Like the clone?
I think so.
No,
I know. I can see the guy in my mind. I know
it's
who
the guy. He's bald as shit. He's got a white beard.
He was in the ILM documentary a while.
Yes, Phil Tippett. Tippett.
Phil Tippett. Yeah, he does all the the stop
God.
motion in.
Hey, I had to struggle for that, so I deserve a W on that one. Anyway,
well, I mean, Luke, that's an interesting question about seeing Bendu, because if you look back, I don't know if you remember a tweet back in 2017 that Dave Filoni did about he was gonna have Ahsoka meet the Bendu.
Yeah, that is true.
And I talked about
there's
it.
there's concept art about it. I mean, if you want me to, I can just kind of like pull up here for a brief second and show you, like this could potentially happen in Ahsoka, and I would love it to.
Yeah, no, we talked about it during the Shroud of Darkness episode.
Seeing this, it would be amazing to see that in Ahsoka, because I mean, we all know Filoni likes to keep things in a vault and then eventually use them when they come out. Because I mean, eventually, he's alluded that there'll be more Barriss. So,
yeah.
I would love to see Barriss again, but seeing this could be a potential possibility for the Ahsoka show. So that's,
I think that's
a potential outcome.
If we don't get him in Ahsoka, I think the other logical place, because we don't know how old he is, we don't know how long his species is. I think you could see him I think you could see him at the Dawn of the Jedi movie.
Interesting.
I think that fits better than Ahsoka, to be honest, because he
could be a little
because he literally says when they first meet him, I have seen everything. He's been there since the very beginning. Like I think that makes a whole lot more sense.
But I mean, I feel like since he's exclusive to Rebels, I feel like that it's kind of important to him and to be put in a Rebels atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Rebels
I feel
sequel.
It's
they're
more
calling
fitting.
it. What the Hat Man's saying.
I mean, it's not a stretch by any means.
I still don't like Rosario Dawson calling it season 5. I was just like, it's not though.
I mean,
but it is.
It is.
It is.
Rebels is the Clone Wars war. It's not like a direct sequel. It's like
it is, but live action. It looks different, but I'm sure it'll feel the same.
Yeah, I think honestly, a lot of the hype and drama around, calling it Rebel Season 5 is not to be like, it's not Ahsoka show. It is to manage expectations, because we've seen it now happen for the last, 4 decades of
expectations of Star Wars being a problem. What?
And especially with Ahsoka being, Dave's baby, I really think that they are really trying to manage that expectation, so it doesn't turn out to be like a Mando or a Book of Boba Fett where everyone is like, oh, this isn't X, Y, and Z show. So I personally don't have an issue with it. I mean, Agent Callus, he could call, he should show up. We got Zeb. Where is he?
Somehow you managed to sneak it in.
Well, we know where Zeb is. We already saw the boy.
I mean, there was that line from Filoni when he was like, "Who else would be Zeb hanging out with?" I was like, "Oh, is Elena's okay?"
Carson Teva.
Well, I also mentioned Callus during the Bad Batch panel, so his name is floating in the airs of Lucasfilm, and hopefully someone should leak that he did something.
I mean, I just got, as a Ben Mendelsohn stan, I just got young Krennic in Bad Batch. So can you imagine a young Callus?
Oh yeah,
I would physically.
She would throw up.
I literally
she would. No, actually, she would just pass away.
Yeah, and if you see that that red carpet video that someone made of Ben Mendelsohn, I think someone was dressed up as like a rebel, and he got pressed about it.
They had a Millennium Falcon phone case. See, I know everything about Ben Mendelsohn, so as soon as you said red carpet, I was like, when?
Was it for Outlaws?
It was
for Secret Invasion
phone case, and he was like,
Secret Invasion. What am I talking about? Yeah.
Whose ship is that? Is that mine? And when he realized it wasn't, he started getting mad, and he just slipped back into that director Krennic.
That's awesome. That is cool. No, but I still think that yes, does it make sense for him to be in Ahsoka? Yes. Will it happen? Probably not. But I also think I honestly think that it, like Nick said, that could be interesting. Him helping the first Jedi, like on Octu, like he's a being. We don't know if he can travel from planet to planet. Like we don't know if Benji's
he became a cloud.
Yeah, he can do pretty much whatever the fuck he wants. So it's like I think it would be interesting to have him there, because he literally says that he has been there from the beginning. He's the middle. So he would teach the Jedi in the middle, and then it's like as time would go on, he would cease to he would cease to exist. He would move away because there's two parts, obviously Jedi and Sith, and then they would obviously do their thing, and then he just kind of disappears, does his own thing.
Well, we'll settle this right here. Yay or nay? Bendu will show up in Ahsoka.
Nay.
Vanto, MJ.
Nay.
Nay.
Austin.
I'm gonna say yay. I'm gonna be contrary.
Yay.
So we got 1-1, 2-1. Alanis.
Nay.
Okay, 2-2. I am a yay, and I'm sure it's a nay. So this went absolutely nowhere. Okay.
See,
Like,
So
told
it's
you.
3-3.
But I do think-
wow.
I think he could show up in both. You know, like he could show up in Ahsoka, and then in Dawn of the Jedi, he could be like Baby Groot, maybe growing a little flower pot, and then you see him
Still.
throughout. And I did
Imagine-
see that like Kathleen Kennedy said like Dawn of the Jedi would be connected, or there's gonna be like some sort of connection to the new Jedi Order with like Daisy Ridley's movie. So like I don't know, there could be like connections to other things throughout.
And I think that's a good. I think it's a good
Which,
reaching.
I'm
point.
forgetting who's directing that movie. I'm forgetting her name. Shimreen Obaid-Chinoy.
Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She did. Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Which Miss
And
Marvel.
I really, really,
loved Miss Marvel.
I
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed Miss Marvel. So I'm really, really
Mhm.
excited to see what she does with Rey. I guess. Oh, Hereth, you want to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say I just imagine like Bendu's introduction be the same as like Trials of the Darksaber. Like I just imagine a character like in the Dawn of the Jedi just kicks a rock and it's just Bendu.
yeah. That's how he became the middle. He was just kicked into like in between two things, and he just so happened to be in the they kicked him to the middle, and he's just there now. Like he has to like take that stance. Like he can't choose one side or the other. Like he's like, I'm committed to the bit. I'm in the middle forever and always. That's how it's gonna be. But thoughts on the episode as a whole. You can go as deep as you want, talk about whatever you want. Floor is yours.
Well, I'm going to step in really quick because this will be the last thing that I say before I have to get my things together to get on this last plane before I
Thank
lose
God.
my mind. Anyway, overall, great episode. Not as good as Imperialized, obviously. But I really obviously love what they did with Callus's character arc. One of my favorite moments is kind of at the end in part 2 when Callus is safely on the ship.
Yes.
And basically Kanan reaches out and puts a hand on his shoulder to be like, hey, like a comforting thing. And if you look back, the very first interaction between Callus and Kanan was Callus like pointing an accusatory finger at him and screaming Jedi, and kind of seeing the flip-flop of that. Stunning. I mean, obviously I do love all of the Thrawn moments. I think we see Thrawn both as a strategist, but as someone who has a ploy in the game as well. Amazing, stunning, incredible. Yeah, amazing. Thanks guys for having me on.
Do you
Not
want
thanks to
canes?
American Airlines.
Yeah. Do you want canes when you get home?
Yeah. Can we just pick it up on the way home?
Say yes. Say yes.
No,
doesn't
no. I
include
was
it.
gonna pick it up on
Get the
the
cane.
way to come get you.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I want it yet. That's like 2 hours away.
Get a Runza.
All
That's right.
right. Okay. All right.
Safe
We'll just get it on the way
travels.
back from the airport. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Bye,
Order
Fly
everyone.
safely,
Bye.
Alanis. Jump into hyperspace.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Hope the lanes aren't blocked.
All right. Jeez. What's the fucking luck that we have had the last
Hereth,
2 days?
Hereth,
You
so you're-
say that
Hereth,
shit.
Hereth,
How
you're
dare
telling me
you?
that
Yes.
she's going to Commander Sato?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Out of pocket. Out of
Yeah,
pocket.
Out of pocket. Out of fucking pocket. Anyway.
But anyway,
Austin, your thoughts on the episode as a whole? I mean, the 2 episodes. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was a good conclusion to season 3, and really sold me on everything. Like I loved I know we brought up Bendu a lot, but the moment between Kanan and Bendu, like when Kanan is like convincing him, like I myself have like felt like I could just step away and just ignore
Yes.
everything. But it was like a nice full circle moment. Also, season 3 as a whole, like I was watching this show when it came out, and I loved season 1 in a time where everybody hated like Rebels. Like everyone hated Rebels, but I was like, no, I love this season 1 of Rebels. But I feel like I never like got over like I'm that person that when a show changes up in like the next seasons, I'm like, no, like go back to the way it was before. I want to see long hair Ezra. I want to see campy looking Kanan, like what happened here. But I feel like at first when season 3 came out, I wasn't sold, but then by the end, like with this finale and everything, 100% loved everything about it. And yeah, the space battle is quite honestly one of the best like space battles in Star Wars, at least like the best looking and like really easy to follow and be like, oh shit, like
yeah, it's not like Return of the Jedi or the Battle of Coruscant where you're just like, what in the hell? There's a lot happening here.
I thought you were gonna say like any space battle in the Star Wars book.
Yeah,
you're just like exactly. What is happening?
Yeah, that over my head. That's why some of the Thrawn books, or no, not even
say that. Like what difficult. The hell is a yaw turn? I don't know what that means.
It does like a 360 point turn, and then it flips all the way around, and then it goes forward. You're just like, what is happening?
I will say this: Thrawn learned from Ahsoka and Anakin, so that's a good good job, Blue Man.
Thrawn's
good job,
a fucking
Blue Man.
beast.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think that was MJ's point right there. So
thanks for
taking that.
What do you need me for?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us your thoughts on this episode.
That was literally her point.
I have nothing else to do.
Thrawn, beautiful, handsome, smart, great, strong, dedicated, amazing.
And he served.
Listing off all these adjectives.
I mean,
blue.
What Austin was saying about Bendu, I love the whole not picking a side is picking a side.
Yes.
That just perfectly encapsulates like Kanan's growth because he didn't want to get involved in the war and Hera was like, this is important. And so now you see him advocating for more people to join and he really believes in the cause now. So like we see a lot of growth on Kanan's part. And I love that moment in the beginning of the episode of part 1 where Ezra and Kanan, they just have a quiet moment where they're talking about teaching. And it's very nice, especially knowing that in the next season finale, Kanan won't be there. But there's this moment of gratitude where Ezra's thanking Kanan for teaching him everything. And Kanan's like, you've taught me so much as well. And Kanan says how his training was limited because of Order 66.
Yep.
But Ezra says, you've taught me more than just being a Jedi. You've taught me about being a person, along the lines of what he says. And it's just such a beautiful moment between Master and Padawan, father and son. I love that.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like that first conversation, and then I also think at the end of the season finale, the way it parallels the end of season 2. Because yes, they're still getting their ass kicked, but there's a lot more W's in that season, in season 3's ending, than is in season 2's. Like they gain Callus as a full-fledged member. Like the way it's shot is very similar to how they shot season 2. Like they give POVs of each kind of character. And I that stood out the most in this episode. But like that conversation right there, MJ, you hit it. Like it's so interesting to have that dynamic between Kanan and Ezra, and then Ezra being like, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be on Lothal. Like I would be just like everybody else. And just to see that character growth, I think that was the moment where I was like, okay, I don't hate Ezra anymore. He's actually making sense. It's taken me this long
to figure that out.
Well, dude, can you blame me?
Did you hate Ezra, or was
A
he just
little bit.
15?
No. Let me speak for Luke.
We're asking the
So
real
Luke is an
question.
Anakin stan. He complains that Ezra is too much alike Anakin, and he's trying to be like Anakin.
That's an insult.
So he
in my
kind of
book.
has a grudge on young Bridger, which I don't understand.
I don't anymore.
Yes, you do.
Did.
Yes,
I
you,
did.
Hereth, vouch for me.
Dude, I do. I did. Not do. I did. Ezra is nothing like Anakin Skywalker. He makes different decisions than Anakin Skywalker does. And that's why he is in a way.
Look, I'm inclined to say that there are some points that Ezra is better than Anakin at some points.
Well, yeah, he's able to resist. He's able to resist the dark side. He's able to turn away from what he really, really wants. Duh, like that's an obvious.
Yeah,
that's a W for that's.
Except
let's give him a notch in the win column.
So this is one thing that Ezra has over Anakin. So when Anakin gets rizzed up by an old man, he fell. But when Ezra gets rizzed up by an old man, he's like, "No, I don't need this."
Okay, but that wasn't rizzed. And that's completely.
He was like, I mean, that's dark side. I have your parents.
But that's. He didn't serve there. He fell flat on his face. Like that's.
Palpatine didn't serve.
No, he didn't serve. He did not serve.
The white gown, though. That was pretty.
I will say Palpatine. No, Palpatine.
A certified Sheev serve.
A certified Palpy.
No. Hold on. A certified Sheev serve. Sheev serve is his when he comes out like in the Rise of Skywalker in that red and with like the buttons on the buttons on him. I'm like, dude, yeah, you're slaying that. You're doing a good job. I like that. That man's got it.
Maybe if they turned the lights on, it would have been a serve, but
you don't like the lighting on Exegol, Austin?
Well, I think
it
it looks interesting, but then you see like the costume behind the scenes, and you see like how bright red it is, and I'm just like, I want to see that. Like I want
That's
that
fair.
Does not look like what we see in the movie.
I will
like
say
he's just wearing fully black.
I will say Exegol as a planet I think is the most intriguing because there's like cool. It looks so freaking sweet because it's like there's lightning and then you hear the acolytes I'm just like, bro, where the fuck are these people been?
It was the most fun planet to explore in Lego Star Wars, I think.
Yes, agreed.
Because I think it was just like it was just new stuff, like stuff we haven't seen before. Where the other planets are like recreating things we've seen before. This was like, it was like we got to see sides of the planet that we didn't see before. Even though it was Lego, it was like still cool to like explore Exegol. You know?
Yeah, but you can't really not when just because of Lego makes some of like the coolest content in Star Wars, to be honest. And I think
especially their Lego sets.
Now that is a riz. Now that's a riz right there. If you want to riz a Star Wars fan, like all you have to do is buy a Lego Death Star
LAAT gunship.
Oh my god, I want that.
An APT. I need a tactical enforcer.
Okay, for anybody that's listening, when I move as a housewarming gift, LAAT gunship Lego set.
What if someone
will build it live on stream?
What if there's gonna be like 5 that show up at your doorstep? You're gonna be like, what am I gonna do with all these?
No, I'm gonna be like, all right, sweet, I got 5 of them. I can make a fleet. Here we go.
The Ultimate Collector series, the Clone Wars Venator starship. Luke with the credit card.
Dude.
Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh my god. It would be so much fun to just make Legos. Just
M in the chat said if only they would make Andor Lego sets. You literally have Cyril Karn.
No,
literally have a Cyril Karn minifig.
Yeah, they don't have wait. Do they not have Lego sets? They just have individual things, right? Is that right?
They have like one Lego set.
Oh, they have a Ferrex. They have a Ferrex.
The one with Cyril. So that's a win for her.
That'd be cool to have the if you were to build like the interior of like the Narkina 5 like cell where they were all working. That would be a cool.
I'm prison cell Lego.
Would that make you complicit in building the Death Star if you're building?
In some ways.
What are the moral implications?
I might be indirectly responsible.
Yeah, you also are okay. Then you're responsible for enslaving Wookiees. So now we got to go to blows, bro. You don't enslave Wookiees.
No, I speak fluent Shriwook. Leave me alone,
dude. You do not.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
What did I say there, dickhead? Okay, all right, we've gone way too far.
That was a serve.
Thank you.
We're
Wait,
going down a path
his
I can't
Shriwook?
follow.
Really? That was not a serve. That was a slay, maybe.
That was a
slay at
serve and an
best.
ace.
Oh, dude. No, you barely got it over the net. Anyway, we've gone on way too long. Now time to rank the episode. Oh.
I told you, Char, we don't make prison Legos.
So this is kind of how the rankings go for MJ. Austin, you know the deal. Bad ensign, okay lieutenant, good captain, great admiral, and chef's kiss, grand admiral. We'll start with MJ.
I thought about this while I was rewatching them.
Nice.
I'm gonna give part 1 admiral.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give part 2 grand admiral because he doesn't wear the bucket in part 1.
Oh wow! You know what? Simple but very, very eloquently said. MJ.
Very effective. That bucket.
Absolutely.
That little push. Like that's grand admiral. Literally.
I got you. I feel that. Austin.
I'm gonna do Chef's Kiss for both episodes because it just all comes together in the end, like with the whole season. So love that.
Feel that. Hereth?
Is this duel of the ranks? Is it ready for a hot take? Because it's an admiral for me.
That's valid.
That was milk toast at that.
There is no status quo for
milk toast. Get that.
Because my reasoning is
that shit.
I feel like out of the 4 finales, this one's like the weakest of the 4.
I won't disagree with you on that. I won't disagree with you, but I do truly, really, really enjoy it.
No, I really enjoyed this episode. It's just I just don't think it's a Grand Admiral.
Bendu puts it over for me. It's Grand Admiral for me. I love Bendu in these 2 episodes because it's like, hey, look, I know your demise, bitch. And then he like pieces out. He's like, I don't need this. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm still gonna be in the middle, but I'm not gonna be in the middle of you 2 guys. There you go. Anyway,
Pop.
Nothing. Pop. Char, your ranking.
My ranking, I'm definitely gonna give this a Grand Admiral. Like, there's so much that happened. I mean, just seeing, because in Secret Cargo, we've already see the formation of all the rebel cells across the galaxy coming together, and then you see the first like solid fight with all of the different factions of the rebels together in some ways. So and the whole part of the whole when they repaired the shield on Attilan, and when they're getting bombarded and the shield's about to destroy itself, and then they stop firing, I'm like, oh, like rewatching this every time puts me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
because of the fact that Thrawn knows exactly what he's doing, but for some reason Filoni wants to just stop right when shit hits the fan, and I'm just like, whoo, I need to relax a little bit. But
yeah,
the sacrifice is made, and then you see that Phoenix Squadron is breaking up. You see Sabine's going back to Mandalore, and season 4, like this is such a perfect way to set up season 4 because not only is Ezra just going to get stronger in the Force, but the whole group itself is going to get stronger. Hera is going to be a lot better. You get Kanan, who's going to be a lot better. You get Zeb, who's like the more things they experience, the more prepared they are. And this is only going to be the first of few times they're going to have to deal with Thrawn.
Yep.
And they're just going to understand his methods even better, because they were on the brink. They were this close to getting vaporized on Attilan.
Yeah.
They were close.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for, the clouds,
Oh, clouds.
The smog,
dragons?
No, the smog here in Illinois. I'm kidding.
I just like to imagine what a Thrawn POV would be like if it was a Thrawn book. It would be like,
the air here is really cloudy. I don't know if Bendu's in the sky, but the air here is very,
not great. Char, what about your 3 interesting facts?
Oh yeah, those. Yeah, go ahead. 3 interesting facts about a certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 41, 0 Hour Edition. Fact 1. Thrawn the Historian? Thrawn makes mention of the Danan tactics employed by the rebels. The Danans are another name for the Achaeans, the ancient Greeks in the Iliad and the Odyssey. Fact 2. ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3. Commander Sato's defense formation Arak 1 gets its name from the Arabesh alphabet. The first letter in the Arabesh alphabet is A, Arak. Fact 3. Artsy Pauldron. Tristan Wren's armor has been marked with a Sabine illustration on his right shoulder. And there you have it. Those are the 3 interesting facts about 0 Hour.
Nice. Anyway, we're gonna talk about some Star Wars news because there's a rumor going around. Anyway,
actually decent rumor. No,
yeah,
impossible.
no. So there's a rumor that we could see the second and final trailer for the Ahsoka series this weekend. Okay, as a person that saw both.
Quit bragging.
Both of them.
Quit bragging.
Both of them. I will say there is a lot. There's a lot that was in that second trailer that y'all didn't get to see. I hope they release some footage of that in this next trailer. But I honestly, to be completely honest with you, I don't need another trailer. I think the first one did its job.
Seeing his back was enough. I'm seated. I'm ready.
Well, I mean, okay, but MJ, did you see But the thing is that those pictures did not do it justice. I'm telling you,
I'm not a hater. Lars Mikkelsen could do anything, and I would not be a hater. I will be seated. You will not catch me saying he looks like Blue Elon Musk. No. I wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat that I wasn't there at Star Wars Celebration.
Cold embrace.
Oh, Jesus,
what?
Char.
You mean a cold
Sorry,
embrace?
I didn't hear you.
A cold embrace?
Like a cold embrace. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, Char.
But I mean, Austin, go ahead. I think you're about to say something. You were leaning.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Austin on the spot again.
I was like, what am I supposed to answer?
Oh no. So this is gonna be interesting because ever since the first Ahsoka trailer dropped, and when Luke told me that Thrawn's gonna be in the show, I feel like Thrawn is a very he's too complex for some people. There's so many different facets of his character that once this show drops, a lot of people are not going to understand who he is because not all of them have read Thrawn 2017, Greater Good, Lesser Evil, Alliances, Treason, the Ascendancy books. They will not understand him. And hopefully Filoni does a good job with kind of summarizing his ambitions and what he wants, which is it's now what everyone else thinks. But for those of you who specialize in Thrawn content, this could be your big moment. So
this is your Super Bowl.
Be ready.
Yes.
Be ready to fight some idiots online about
me.
Thrawn knowledge because don't tell me you've spent all of these hours and months reading Thrawn and studying Thrawn just for these idiots to tell you that this is just Thrawn's this and that. He's cool. He's blue. He knows how to fight. Okay, tell me.
So Char,
we have someone like MJ here who is a living encyclopedia of the entire Chiss species. Yes.
I mean,
so if you're a Thrawn creator, it's time to cook.
Yeah, my whole
we
thing.
need to cook.
Yeah, my whole thing is that, and Alanis has also said this. She was the first one to say it to me, and I agree with her. No matter what they do with Thrawn, nobody is going to be nobody's going to be 100% happy with it. And you know what? We just have to live with that. What we get with Thrawn is what he is. You know what I mean? I get that you should get that you can have expectations, but tether them. Tether them, because it's just like every other. Okay, yeah, if MJ gets that, like that's done. Like that she
I
makes
get
him
any Eli Vanto mention, I will pass away. Like actually,
and like my thing is that I've seen not only in Star Wars, nerd culture and as it's come, nitpick the shit out of small details, and they lose the bigger picture of what's actually being put on screen. You are getting Thrawn. Nobody in 1980, when was this first? 93. Nobody thought that they would see a Chiss on a TV show, let alone live fucking action.
Well, probably a movie too, let's be honest.
Well, no, he will be. He's going to be the antagonist of that movie. But no, you know what I mean? Like, why can't we just be happy with getting Thrawn on screen? Like, let's be real here. Nobody thought that Thrawn would ever make it on screen.
Yeah,
I'm just overwhelmed with joy. I am like so overwhelmed with joy, and I'm so ecstatic for Timothy Zahn in particular.
Yes,
like, oh my god, I can't. His wildest dreams.
Which gets me so excited for Thrawn's character, because the fact that Zahn is on set working with the character and guiding or telling, or he's basically he's there to help.
He's not on set. Let's
but he knows he's supporting the material.
So
they're heavily basing it off of his
work. A phone call.
He did get a phone call.
He did get a phone call.
It's very
so Filoni was like, "Hey, can you proofread this? Make sure that it's like, you know." No, I'm kidding.
No.
But no, they're relying on Zahn's content. It's not just going to be
I hope
this, that. Yeah,
I think and here's my thing. Like, Timothy Zahn, like, he could be lying to everybody and being like, "Yeah, I'm not involved at all." But then, like, when Dave Filoni says, "Hey, like, it felt important to us to have him involved because he wasn't involved with Rebels," if I remember correctly.
He was loose, very loosely, because they brought him in during the animation phase of season 3.
Yeah,
they handed him scripts and said, "This is what we're doing. You can write the books based around it."
Yeah,
That's
basically
what happened.
Yeah. So, like, to have him actually be somewhat involved, but not to the point where he's like hovering, I think it's perfect, because Timmy is just like, "Okay, cool. I'm just glad I'm here." Like, that's literally his whole personality. And if we are going to get I don't give a shit what he does, as long as Lars Mikkelsen sounds and looks like Thrawn. I don't.
Oh, he looks
shit.
like it. I'm sure he'll sound like it.
I don't give a shit what his actions are. I don't care. Like, I've read the source material. I've read every book. I don't care. I'm just glad that we get to see this character who's been a big part of the franchise for so long get screen time.
Yeah,
that's my only thing.
You need to the magnitude of Thrawn coming into live action. If they don't, like, if they have to get this right, like, they have to get it as right as possible with adhering to the Zahn novels with his character.
Well, people,
like, if they stray away from that, it's going to feel off-putting for a lot of people.
Because my thing is like, with people forget about this with Thrawn. There are 3 divisions of Thrawn fans. You have, I'm going to specify this in the
Joros Kaboth fans.
So you have the canon book Thrawn fans of the recent era with Ascendancy and then the original trilogy era. And then you have Rebels Thrawn fans who have only seen him in Rebels. That's all they know about Thrawn is just Thrawn Rebels. And then you have the Insanity Legends fans who only read Heir to the Empire and Outbound Flight and think that's everything Thrawn is. And there's no way you can satisfy all 3 because they're all vastly different and have different things about Thrawn.
It's impossible to satisfy.
Yeah,
no matter what you do, there will always be some sort of hate for something. We know this. We're Star Wars fans. We're surrounded by hate all the time. It's never going anywhere. If you want to be overly critical about Thrawn, sure, yeah, you can be over here analyzing all the Zahn books and everything, but I'm sure it won't be verbatim as to what you want it to be.
Yep.
It's not going to tickle everyone's fancy. I'm just saying that.
MJ, what are your thoughts, expectations for Thrawn?
I
'Cause
have so many thoughts on this, and just based off of like conversations with Zahn himself.
Subtle flex.
Subtle flex. I mean, we do have dinner plans. But
I mean, did you have a serve? You know.
Yeah, I did have a serve, a little bit of a serve. Yeah, I mean, way back to what you were saying about fighting for my life on Twitter. I think one of the most important things that Timothy has taught me is that because I always get frustrated with the fact that people are so, oh, he's a villain, oh, he's a hero, oh, he's in the middle, oh, he's this, that, whatever. It all depends. This is his answer to the question. It all depends on what side the story is being told from. It's all about point of view. Yeah. Because look at him in Rebels, and like you were just saying about the people who have only seen him in Rebels, they know him as a villain. Guess what? Because it's from the perspective of the Rebels. Of course, he's going to seem like a super bad dude. Then you pick up Thrawn 2017, and you're like, wait a minute, this guy is just doing what he thinks is best. He's doing his job. And you're like, maybe he's not so bad after all. And that's the thing with a lot of the Star Wars fans on Twitter, is that they cannot comprehend when something isn't black or white, because Thrawn is a gray character. He's morally gray. He exists in the middle. He is not a hero, but he's definitely not a villain. So if you try to put these characters in boxes, he's far too complex to do that. So that's why I'm very nervous, like walking into the Ahsoka series, because people are just going to be like, well, if you're calling Thrawn a hero, you're clearly like an Imperial apologist. And I'm like,
or
okay, take it 2 steps back. Like, this is not.
Yeah, it's not. And like that's perfectly well said, because okay, for example, like let's say a gray area, right? Daemon Targaryen from House of the Dragon. Morally, he's not a villain, he's not a hero, he's in the middle. Like, you can have those characters, and I think it brings more to the table that Star Wars fans don't have the complexity to talk about characters like that. You know what I mean? Like, like you said, you have to explain like everything to like let's throw this out for an example. Somehow Palpatine returned. Like, that's a throwaway thing, but if you read all of the context to it, it makes sense, and people just can't grasp their mind around it because they just don't want to do that hard work to read into those scenarios.
Literally,
and
I mean,
that's just how it is.
They want it easy. They don't want to have to think. They want flashiness. They want it simple. They want good guy, bad guy. They don't care for this in between because it's too complex for them.
Yeah. As I said earlier, it's just too much for them. I mean, for the people that don't understand Thrawn and his ambitions, tell me you do not understand the unknown regions without telling me you don't understand the unknown regions.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah, but Austin, what are you looking forward to? Ahsoka wise.
I am looking forward to weird Force shit from Dave Filoni. I know you guys know. I know, Luke, you're a Mortis arc fan.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni, when he explores some weird Force shit, like the world between worlds, whatever, it's always the best. Like, I don't know. So I'm excited to see like that aspect. You know, we see in the background of some of the shots, like, you know, ruins in the sky and whatnot.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to see when they got the writing in the sky. You know, it's going to be some good shit, some crazy Force stuff going on. I'm excited to see like who is, you know, Balin's Skull, and who's the other character?
Shion? Is that
that's a Twilight and Mando season 1.
No, that's right, Shion. I can't remember. It starts with an S though.
The girl with the bleached hair.
Oh, dude, she looks intimidating.
Yeah.
The one who kind of looks like Sia.
Yeah.
No, literally. No, that's literally the perfect comparison, to be honest with you.
He's gonna break out.
Yeah, she should start shooting chandelier. But anyway, no, yeah, I think that's the most. I agree with you, Austin. Finding out those two characters, right? They are so intriguing because the synopsis for what's his name? Oh my god.
Who?
Oh, the
Ray Stevenson.
Oh,
yeah,
Balin's Skull.
The Force user for hire.
Yeah. He survived Order 66 and became a.
Of course he did.
And he. Oh, by the way, get ready for another Order 66 scene. Here you go. Hey,
Yay!
we love
the
those.
18th different perspective.
We love those.
Woohoo!
If you want to hear a conversation about whether Order 66 should be used again, go check out that podcast episode.
Not subtle plug.
It's an interesting one.
We need a cut down on the Order 66.
I think after this,
we're diluting Order 66, man. Like,
I think, well, it also brings up the point of like when people are like, oh, there shouldn't be like there were 10,000 Jedi, and it's like, yeah, they could have killed them all. yeah. 100
and maybe
to
like
50,
what?
and
Maybe like 200 survived.
We're gonna get butthurt about
It's like 80,
10,000 to
not even
200
no,
or whatever.
It's within the 200 range,
isn't it?
I believe so.
But I don't think we even know more than like 60 in canon.
It's
60.
like I know it's in the 60 to 80 range.
Star Wars
And,
fans
like,
are like the only fans who will complain about getting more stories. Like, sit down. Like, do you want more shows and more characters? Or
yeah,
not?
we're getting more characters. I mean, like from Jedi Survivor, Bo Kuna, for example. Like,
or Outlaws.
so many, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I can't wait to play that game.
Like, there's so many new Jedi. They're just being brought into the mix that survive Order 66. It's just crazy, like how much Order 66 is being used as a plot point, as a character's like.
I mean, it is kind of a big important part as a Jedi.
Yeah, but
after the
Empire,
Empire,
it can't be everyone's.
But anyway,
I do appreciate though that they like try to show like different
points of view,
paths that people go on. Like Bode is somebody who like chose a way different path than anybody we've seen before, and then you have like people like Kanan who kind of had like that redemption style arc, even though like he didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but like just his life in general, like doing better and whatnot. And so I always appreciate at least there's like different perspectives, like, and then you have like Obi-Wan who like the entire galaxy is resting on his shoulders. Like that's a different perspective, so.
Even the clone perspective. Look at the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
Look at Crosshair. There's so many interesting stories to be told. Like, don't complain because you think you're getting the same one again.
Yeah, I would agree. And the last thing that we're going to talk about is Kathleen Kennedy talking about by the way, what the fuck? First of all, the tweet of, oh yeah, the Kathleen Kennedy has been outed. I was like, okay, so she's been fired for the 18,000th time. Congratulations.
It's not like I've seen this for the last like 7 years in a row.
Awesome. But anyway, I want your guys' thoughts real quick about what she said about Rey's movie. She's quoted here saying, I think what's always great about Star Wars is it's a big galaxy, and we're coming off of what was a major war with the First Order, and now Rey has made a promise to Luke, and that's really the core of where we're going and what this story will be. And I think it offers just tremendous opportunity to introduce new characters and start with something fresh, because we culminated with what George was creating, and now we get to take they get to take all of that and move it to the next chapter. It honestly, I think it's I think that what she is saying is spot on. We need new storytelling. We need different points of view. And we're getting that from Andor is a point of view show from the common man in the world of Star Wars. We don't really have a lot of POVs like that. So seeing Rey fulfill that promise to Luke to rebuild the Jedi Order, not really that. I think it's going to be called the Skywalkers. In my opinion, I think she's going to take that name, and that's going to be the next.
Oh no, she
the Jedi.
I'm sure.
No, but I mean like that. That's
the
what
Jedi Order
that's what
will be called Skywalkers.
It'll be they'll be called Skywalkers. They won't be called Jedi anymore. They'll be called Skywalkers.
Force navigators. Just Force navigators are already called Skywalkers.
But that's the point. Like you can. It's not like Skywalkers are Force sensitive. Like that's the whole point. That's where you can interconnect with like the Chiss.
When are we gonna get Ezra Bridger training them? Like, come on,
Jedi.
Who says? Wait. Who says that he makes it out of Ahsoka?
In a body bag.
No, when are we getting Ezra Bridger
Everybody.
training Chiss Skywalkers?
Oh.
In the Thrawn Ezra book that hopefully
In the
comes
new
out.
one,
It's
the new
on
book that'll
been
be coming.
demanding
Yeah.
for years.
I will say this: the one thing about Ezra, it's like, oh yeah, we got the announcement of the guy, and I'm like, I guarantee you, we don't see Ezra until either the last shot of the show, the last episode, and it might not even be that. It could be the hologram of him doing the speech at the end of season 4, which would be hilarious because I just think it's funny that they
I
would bring him in.
honestly, my expectations, because I want so much from Thrawn, I'm like, I'm happy if the only shot in the show is of his back and it's the very last episode. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if we get 3 seconds of him. I'll be happy.
That's awesome. And that's kind of how I was. I had expectations for Obi-Wan, but a lot of my expectations were met. So I was happy as could be. Like, I got exactly what I wanted. I didn't really have much to complain about. And I go into a lot of Star Wars, a lot of things with my expectations kind of like, I got to wait and see until the whole season or whole series is out, and then I can be critical of it. Because I feel like if you're judging a series or a movie that has multiple parts, it's very unfair to only judge one part of it. Judge it when it all comes out and then give a critique. Because, like, for example, Obi-Wan, after episode 4, everybody was like, oh, it's the worst show. And then the next 3 episodes came out and they're like, oh, it was pretty good. Like, duh, because you got your swoosh swoosh Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan, assholes. You didn't understand everything else, but that's a whole nother thing.
Star Wars fans can't. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
No,
Star
go
Wars
ahead.
Cut him off all you want. Cut him off all you want.
Yeah.
I'm like a very, very big Better Call Saul fan. I've done such a good job.
Yes!
Bringing it up yet.
We got another!
I am such a big Better Call Saul fan. And that show is like the epitome of slow burn. The Chuck McGill plotline goes on for 3 seasons. Not
3
3
seasons
episodes,
of peak.
3 seasons. And then the main villain of the show isn't introduced until the end of season 4, end of season 3, beginning of season 4, because and like all of the big shock wow, the lightsaber duels of Better Call Saul, you have to wait hours and hours for them, and Star Wars fans just could not handle that because they need that instant gratification, that like drama, like any slow paced scenes, just kill them. Like, please be patient, let the story unfold, because a story arc is like a mountain. You have the introduction, you need that stuff, the introduction and the rising action. You can't get to the climax without it, and you can't skip over it, or else the climax isn't going to make sense and it won't be exciting because you don't care about it.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the I love the prequels, but I feel like that's my one main complaint about them. It's too whoosh whoosh. There's too much instant gratification. Like there's no like foundation of it. That's why they had to make a 7-season show.
I've been a 6-episode miniseries.
All right, would you just
lot of crap.
Would you just leave it alone?
And
Fucking
Can
Brotherhood.
we
dick.
block M from the chat?
Yeah. MJ, do you look like Saul? I don't think you look like Saul Goodman. I don't know if you and Bob Odenkirk are.
Jesus Christ! Why? She will never come on this show again.
This bit, it's
She's
been going on for 8 months.
she's-
Someone in my TikTok comments was like, "You look like him." And I'm like, "What?"
You hear the guitar, the.
Anyway, anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of the podcast. Austin, MJ, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
on.
having me.
Absolutely. MJ, where can the good people follow you?
They can follow me at Chimera_chat on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and look for my new podcast. I'm going to do a name drop for the first time publicly right now.
Oh!
Are you ready? Some exclusive content. I can't take credit for the name, though. My co-host, Lyris, came up with it. It's called Heir to the Fempire.
Nice!
Mother
cool.
of God.
Mother of God.
There we
Where
go.
you can
Heir
find-
to the Empire. Heir to the Fempire.
You can
Nice.
find that wherever podcasts are.
So is it going to just be like strictly Chiss?
Maybe we'll definitely cover Ahsoka. So I guess the Rebels are in there, but we're definitely your go-to Chiss people.
Yes, that is a serve. That is a serve. I now understand that this geriatric millennial knows what serves means. If we got anything right in this episode, if we got anything out of this episode, was that I know what serve means now.
You do.
In itself, you learning that is a serve.
Is a serve. Bam. Mic drop. Austin, where can the good people follow you, my man?
You can follow me on Instagram at SWAustin, Twitter SWAustin0, and you can follow Austin SWE on Twitter. Let him know I want my username back. And then my podcast is The Way Seekers returns July 7th, next Friday. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, no problem. We love having you on.
Absolutely. Thanks for always coming on for this crazy podcast.
Always,
cannot believe that it's been 2 years. It's actually 2 years.
That's right.
To the day that the first episode dropped 2 years ago today.
Yeah,
so
literally 2 years ago.
This is your anniversary
episode?
Yep.
June 29th of 2021 was the first episode of Podwans.
Yep. So
I was not there until
September
of that year.
Yeah. So
I wasn't there until another year after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 years of podcasting.
So you've been here for almost 2 years.
So it was me and an ex's cousin.
Oh.
Now do you see how I had to pivot? But yeah, Hereth, where can the good people find you?
Well, you can find me at Hereth Productions on TikTok and Instagram. You can find me at Hereth_edits on Twitter. And of course, you can find me here on the Pod Ones.
Char, where can the good people follow you?
Good people, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at CharJ, as spelled right here. And you can find me here at the Pod Ones podcast. Every Thursday night, we cover our Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Check us out next week as we begin season 4. I'm forgetting what the first episode is.
Isn't it an arc? It's like 3 episodes, actually.
It's
good.
Mandalore
It makes
arc.
Yeah,
is it
Mandalore. Yeah, it's 2 episodes. It's 2 episodes, right?
Yes. So yeah, check us out there. And then
Best season.
check us out as more trivia
Facts.
competitions release. So
Yep.
that'll be cool.
Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yep. Check out Tate versus David.
One of the craziest matches of the
It is-
entire
It's
season.
a
I
good
think it's
one.
by
It's a
far-
good one. It's
Other
a good
than one match, I think this may.
Two.
There's one match that
There's
happened.
two.
There's-
There's two.
It's the
There's
second.
two more.
There's two that
third-
were nail biters.
Yeah, there's two.
three.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're counting this. We're counting this one, and then there's another one, and then there's the one.
The
after
final
that.
one. The final one is absolutely bonkers.
Let me tell you, this Tate and
No.
David match is crazy,
Okay, good.
and then the Kier in
Hayden was
Hayden
next
match.
level.
crazy.
I will
But
say
you will find out the
best-
results.
The
in a
best
few
match,
weeks.
the best commentated match, Andy Wise Guy versus Spicer.
That was fun.
Oh,
that
no,
was
it's
peak-
There will be
Blue.
no
peak
questions
commentary.
asked. No,
Okay.
no more going into it. We can't give them too much. Anyway, a little bit of an announcement. I will be taking time off from the podcast, and doing content altogether. Just kind of gotten to that point where I'm just a little too burnt out, but we're still going. Chase Forward in the Black or Carter Car2D2 will be stepping in for me for the month, so I will not be back until Jedi Knight, so towards the end of Rebels. So it'll be Char, Hereth, Chase, and or Carter. But yeah, you won't miss any new content. Everything will be coming out at the same time. But yeah, I've been on here for 2 years. I've only missed 2 episodes. So a break is something that I need. So I appreciate you guys. But you can follow us at the Pod Ones on all social medias. You can follow me at Jedi Master Eggs on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Just decided to do personal stuff with Star Wars and stuff like that, doing all that stuff. So that's the public service announcement. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. MJ, Austin, chat. You guys are always amazing. But until next time, may the force be with you.
Always.
Always.